Ron.
Yeah, finally made
Oh
it.
man, you figured it out. I was ready to call you.
Well, I got to making calls. It's time to slip away here.
I hear you, man. Thank you for giving me your time today. I definitely appreciate it.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So basically the point of this call is just to show you what digital marketing is, show you what we do. And from there you can ask questions and maybe I could point you in the right direction. And if that means that we can work together, then that's great for both of us. How does that sound?
All right. That
All right.
works. All
Very
right.
cool. All right. So I do have a few questions for you about your business first off. So you're an insulation business?
Correct.
Okay. Do you do spray foam insulation?
Yes, we do it all. Yeah.
Oh, you do it all. So you'll do bad insulation,
Yeah.
open cell, closed cell, construction.
Blow. Yeah.
Okay. Crawl space, attics.
You got it. Yeah.
All right, man. How many teams do you have? Or is it you and one small team?
Well, we got one small team. Got a two-man crew out there.
Okay, two-man crew.
Yeah.
Um, what's your main service area?
Yeah, we normally cover about 50, 60 mile radius.
Okay. So we'll say 50, 60
Bigger
miles.
jobs, when we go in to insulate a new motel and something with some quantity to it, and then we go further. But
Okay. That makes sense. Yeah, if it's worth it, definitely go for it.
yeah,
Um,
right. We're not going to go 75 miles to build an attic in a 24 by 30 garage.
right.
You can't do that. So
Okay. Now what's the central city that you're in that makes this radius?
um Mattoon, Illinois,
Two.
1938 area.
Okay, Matt two. Could you spell that for me?
Mattoon,
Oh, Mattoon, Illinois. Okay.
Illinois. All right, yeah.
Okay. Cool. All right, let me check a couple things. And you haven't done online marketing before in the past.
No, we made a couple attempts, but um,
It's it's tough.
yeah, yeah.
That's for sure. Um, okay. So let me show you my screen and I'm gonna show you a little bit about, how it generally works online for us.
Okay.
Um, all right. Oh, and a little bit about myself actually, before I do this, just so you know who I am. Uh, so, uh, I grew up in Melbourne, Florida, Satellite Beach. That's where I'm at. I did my Eagle Scout, all the rest, and then I went out to college to the Merchant Mariner College, up in New York City. Did electrical engineering and marine engineering there. I spent 10 years out at sea taking care of engine rooms as an officer and fixing stuff, working on HVAC systems, electrical distribution, 100,000 horsepower engines, things like that. Um,
Okay.
and then I was chief engineer for the Defense Intelligence Agency. And then I started this business. So it's been a kind of wild ride for me. Um,
Yeah, I'd say.
yeah, but it's been fun, I've been all over the world. I learned how systems work, and I just kind of enjoy whatever I'm doing. Um,
Okay.
all right, can you see my screen?
Uh-huh.
All right, cool. So if I look up insulation in Mattoon, Illinois. All right.
And I'm a tune and on the end of it instead of M.
Oh, N. Got it. N.
There you go.
Cool. Let's look that up. Okay. So the first thing that you're going to see, wow, this is actually this is kind of great. The first thing that you're going to see are businesses. Okay. So this is your Google Maps. Are you familiar with Google Maps? Have you used that before?
Oh, yeah, a little bit. Yeah, yeah,
Okay. It's something that a lot of people use these days. They just go on their phone and if they're looking for a place to eat, if they're looking for, roofers or insulation people, they'll just go on Google Maps and they'll click it and it'll show up with just people in their area. And they can see it on the map, so it makes it feel a little bit more at home. Um, so we've
yeah,
got these Olmsted Brothers insulation, collab insulation, this general insulation service here. And you'll notice the guy at the top, he has a website. So it matters that you're at the top because a lot of people, they only click the top guy, and especially the best, most like willing to spend their money people, they don't waste time going through the first 5 people. They just call the guy on top every single time. It's easier. They know that they're reputable because they came up to the top of the search engine. They're the most relevant. So you'll get your best leads if you're in the top 3.
right.
Um, Now, if I wanted to, I could open this up and uh, I could see other businesses in the area, things like that. But this is generally what you want to do. You can see that they've got 37 good reviews, says they've been in business for 25 years. You might be aware of them. But what's cool about this is they're actually in Charleston, Illinois.
Right,
So they're not actually in Mattoon.
right,
So what that tells me is either there's not too many people in Mattoon, so there's
right,
not that much work to be done,
right,
or it's wide open for the taking. Because the way Google works is they want to be in, uh, they prioritize the people who are closest first, and then if they've got a good reputation, it's like a golden egg, for Google. Because Google's job is just to connect the person looking for the job to the business. That's all they do. So that's the first thing. That's Google Maps. Does that make sense to you?
yeah, yeah,
All right, cool. Now the second thing that you see is actually um the organics listing. Okay, so that's where you see the traditional websites. You might remember in the 90s, everybody was talking about having websites, how important that was. Well, there's a ton of other things that layer on top of that these days, some 30 years later. Um, so it's important to still have these websites because you can point somebody to the website, you can show them your services, and more importantly, it tells Google that you're legitimate. So if you tell Google that I have a website, I have social media, I have the Google Maps listing, then all of a sudden Google's like, okay, well, I'm going to put you on the top in Mattoon. I'm going to put you in the top in Tuscola. I'm going to put you in the top in Shelbyville. And they're basically going to say like you're what most people are looking for, and I can tell that you're an active business because you're online doing stuff. So that's important. So we can see Collab insulation, they're the number one on the search history. So when somebody looks for a website over here, that's what they see. So this person has in basically ad space in the Google Maps right here and right there. So the chances of somebody else calling another person is less. So that person gets more calls. Does that make sense?
yeah.
Okay, cool. Then you've got Home Advisor. I'm sure you're familiar with them. Have you used Home Advisor before?
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah. I hear the regret in your voice.
yeah,
Yeah, I get that. They used to be Angie's List, Angie's Leads. They keep on having to rebrand themselves because they have a bad reputation.
yeah,
Um,
yeah.
but they've got all the money in the world to keep on marketing, so that's what they do. And then you've got Olmsted Brothers as number 3 over here. So these two guys are kind of taking over the area, which is a good thing because they're not exactly what I would consider competition. Now let's go scroll down a little bit. We've got the Facebook that Collab has. So Collab seems to be the people. Does that happen to be you?
No,
Oh, well, that's not good. We got to beat them out.
I'm, I'm installation service.
Okay. Wait, is this you?
Yeah,
That's you.
yeah.
Okay. So you've got one review. There's no website to it. Um,
Uh,
and that's your number right there. Okay.
yeah,
So what we would do is we would want to beat these people out. You're doing good actually by being at the top 3. Now what most people do is they'll click the top one, and then that's how you'll get the best leads. The people who call the third guy, they're more or less going to be, they've already called the first two typically, unless they already know those guys, which they typically don't. So that's kind of like how that works. You'll get the people looking for quotes at like number 3, number 1. Okay. Now, typically, you would have people running ads, and if they're running ads correctly, they'll be up here. Now, I find it kind of funny that nobody's running ads in this area, so that's a pretty good sign. Where do you get most of your work? Like what city?
Oh, it, it seems to rotate some, but down in Effingham a lot right now.
Uh,
Effingham, uh,
oh, Effingham right here.
yeah,
Okay.
some
So
over in Paris. It's not showing up on there, but
Effingham.
it's over east, over to the right,
Okay.
and then some around Champagne.
Champagne. I'm looking for it.
Champagne is straight north of.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Champagne. Okay. Some in Champagne. So Effingham, Champagne. What about Springfield?
We don't do much there. I don't know why really, but
Okay,
we don't get over there too much.
that's fine. So you'll do Effingham, Champagne. What was the other one that you were saying?
Uh, Paris, it'd be over there close to Terre Haute, but I don't see it on there.
Oh,
Oh,
maybe if I scroll in a little
yeah, okay. Up north.
up north.
Now,
Um,
now go over east and come down.
okay, east and come down. Rockville,
A little more, now a little more west.
Chrisman,
Drop down there. Drop down from there. Right there.
Paris. Oh, Paris.
Yeah.
Okay, so Paris.
Okay.
Okay. I'm doing this for a reason. Hang in there with me for a minute. Um, okay. And then you're over in Mattoon. What about Decatur?
Yeah, some there.
Okay. So you really don't go into the cities too much, do you?
No, not the big cities we don't.
Okay. That's
There's
fine.
some there's some bigger guys in there that
Kind of take it away.
yeah.
Okay. So you're looking to just kind of take this area. Um,
Yeah, basically, yeah.
okay. That makes sense. Um, okay. Let me see. Okay. Let's look into these areas just like a quick Google search anyway. Um, see what it looks like. So insulation services in Effingham. Oh, I should do Illinois. Okay. So we've got Central Illinois Construction, uh, Home Insulation, Olmsted Collab is also there. Good. Those are weak websites. That's good. I'm not seeing you there. That's okay. Um, okay, we're looking in Effingham. Let's look at Champaign, Illinois. Um, let's see. So we've got these guys. Illinois Spray Foam Insulation Champaign. I see. So that's not a real business.
Yeah.
It's kind of closer to what I do. Then Steel Tight Insulation. Um, okay. So there's a few businesses, not much. And it doesn't look like really anybody's running any ads, which is good because if more people are running ads, it costs more money to compete with them. So that's kind of a good sign here. Um, and then nothing for Paris. Okay. So that's great. Now, I want to show you just a little bit like if we searched insulation services in Washington, D.C. Okay. Now, there's over 700,000 people over in Washington, D.C. You can see that a lot of people are running ads. They're paying for ads, so it's expensive to go into. Um, Now, you might also notice that I am on the first page right here. So you the thing about this is an over 700,000 people population. So my installation services in Washington D.C., they get about like 60 calls a month, and I don't pay for ads or anything with it. And what that means is I get to lower my bottom line to help other businesses and talk about how much money are you actually bringing in this month. I'm not trying to make you go into the red because of advertising, because that's not the point of advertising. The point of
Right.
advertising is to make money.
Right.
So what I like to do is I'll actually track these calls. So if I click this, it's a pretty basic website. It really is. But the reason it's able to come up in the rankings is because I word things in a way that Google understands. I make it really easy for anybody on the site to just get in touch with us with a quick call us here button. Here's a couple things about the people I have this website hooked up to. And then here's a quote form. Super simple, you know? So I've got everything that Google wants, and I've got everything that the customer wants, and you can hang out on the page and learn a bunch about insulation if you wanted to. And it's the same thing. I've got like towing in Winter Park, Florida. Now here I'm number one, and this also gets about 60 calls a month. And I track and I record each one. And again, it's a really simple website. It's not like a $2,000 website or anything like that. Actually, I don't charge people for websites. I just do it. So that's kind of how that works. That's sort of like the consumer end of what using the internet is and how to get businesses. Do you have any questions about it?
No, no,
Okay, cool.
not yet.
So what it really comes down to is you want to know how many people are searching in the area. So the big thing here is we want to look into it and see if it's worth it to be online for your service area, you know?
Right.
So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna open up a tool that Google uses. So this is from Google, so they know who's searching where and how, and if it's worth it to go into an area for ads. Um, so what I'm gonna do is I'm going to put in some keywords that people might put in, like insulation, service near me. I'm gonna put in spray foam, insulation, contractor. I'll put in uh, construction, insulation, attic, insulation, service, crawl space, insulation, below in insulation, service. Let's see, what's something else? Spray foam. Did I put spray foam? Attic. I mean
Yeah.
that.
Yeah,
Do,
okay.
yeah. Do you have any other suggestions?
Well, bad insulation, maybe.
Right. Bat insulation. Um, Contractor. Okay, cool. So we've got enough, and it's gonna like build out other keywords. It just gets an idea of what we're doing. And I'll put it into targeting all of Illinois for now. And it's gonna use, the sort of local dialect, and it's gonna pull some things just like usually that state uses different things. Some like I say soda down here, but if you go up north, it's soda pop, or
Right,
fizz.
right, right,
Yeah,
right,
so if I put it into Illinois, everybody kind of, they speak a little bit different. So
right.
it's gonna consider that. Average monthly searches. Um, okay. So now the number one thing that people search, because I did this by average monthly searches, is attic insulation, insulation attic insulation, insulation installers near me, insulation companies near me, encapsulate crawl space. I don't think that's what we're looking for. Um, let's see. I want to show up to 200. Okay. So we're basically just choosing keywords that we think people would search that would make a difference for us. So exterior insulation finish systems, no. Spray insulation companies near me. Um, let's see, attic insulation installers. Let's see, crawl space insulation. Let's not do price. Do you do ICF?
No, no.
Okay. Let's see. Insulation. Yeah, so I don't do anything with cost because people who are looking up cost, they're not really looking to buy, they're just kind of window shopping.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, so I'm not going to include those. Um, let's see. Spray foam contractors, spray foam installers, spray foam insulation installers, basement crawl space insulation, crawl space, no, not venting. Excuse me. We both have something going around.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's like weird. It's like I'm not sick, but I've got some like congestion back there,
That's what I got too.
Yeah. Yeah, I've had it for like a week now. Let's see. Spray insulation installers, contractors, spray foam contractors. So I'm just going through this. Yeah, like low-end insulation rentals. No, that's not what you're looking for. Best static insulation. That's a good one. And I'm almost down. Once this gets down to 100 searches a month, I'm gonna go with it. Let's see. Blow-in attic insulation. That's a good one. And I would say we're doing good. I would say these guys are good. Those are good to add. Those are all contractors. Okay. Oh, do you do pole barns by chance?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, so I'll add that in there. I haven't had too much luck advertising for pole barn insulation. It's kind of weird. Um, crawl space insulation. Do you do crawl spaces pretty often?
Quite a bit. Yeah, yeah.
Okay,
Yep,
cool.
yep.
So we will add those to the plan. Okay, now we go to the forecast, and Google basically tells me what to expect from an ad campaign here. It's not 100%. In fact, experience tells me exactly how off it is. So, first things first, let's get some of these cities in here. So there's Mattoon, Mattoon, Illinois. Wow, 45,000. All right. There's Effingham, Illinois. So we'll add that in there. There's Paris, Illinois. Not too many people over there. Decatur, Illinois. Guess that's like a French.
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
Yeah, that's weird. Okay. And then
Champagne.
Champagne, that's the one. Okay. There's this part. Oh, that includes Springfield. Let's stay out of Springfield for now, just see what happens.
Yeah.
And we'll do Champaign County, Illinois. Is that all right?
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. Let's save that. And let's see. Yeah, not too much in the way of ad spend. Let me see. So the volume is a little bit low here, that's for sure. But what I also like about it is it's really affordable to get into. So it's not bad. So just so you know what I'm looking at, I look at the clicks. So that's how many clicks that Google would expect for a certain price, which is right here. So $8 a day gets you 44 clicks a month and they're saying $240 is what that would cost. Now, in my experience, somewhere between 1 in 6 and 1 in 3 clicks turns into a call. So if we do 44 divided by 6. The low end would be 7 calls for $240. And the high end, if things work out really well, you would get about 14 calls for $240. Now, what I would recommend is let's add in a couple different areas. Because the thing about this is it's only considering like these really small areas. It's not going into Shelbyville or Sullivan or anything like that. And you're looking for a radius. So what that tells me is that these numbers aren't going to be 100% accurate. They're not going to be as close as I think, because when I actually do the radius for the advertising, it does everything in that radius. It doesn't just do Champaign or just Effingham.
Okay.
So this gives me a pretty good idea that this is actually a pretty cheap campaign. You know, like I think that you could see results probably around a budget of $500 in a month. See how that picks up, especially because there's no competition. So Google is just asking for it. You know, this is actually kind of rare for me. Usually I go in at like an ad budget of about $1,000 to start, but this doesn't seem to have a problem. You know, it's low volume, but it's also extremely low competition. So I'm kind of sitting at around, you know, I would put in $500 into the ad budget. And then what I would do for you is I would build out one of these sites. Okay. And what that does is, like you can see, this says towingwinterpark.com. So I would go into this area, you know, I would go into the best area. Whoops. I would go into the most populated area that we're targeting, and I would call it, you know, let's call it Effingham sprayfoaminsulation.com. You know, what that does is it tells Google that it's a super it's a super niche area, it's a super niche uh service, and it will quickly rank you up above other people because it's like, oh, this is what people are searching for. They just built a website, so it's a solid foundation. And Google's going to read all of that, the AI, the artificial intelligence for it, and it's going to say, okay, for people searching this, I'm confident that they're looking for this website. And then if we run ads, so now we're paying Google a bit. Now Google's really going to preference us. So it's going to help bring up the website. It's going to help bring up the Google Maps listing. And then the ads are going to be showed at the very top of the page whenever somebody looks. So they're not even going to look at the Google Maps or the organics. They're going to be just clicking the ad, which helps you because now you're the first person, the second person, and the third person that they call when they're looking for it. Does that make sense?
Yeah, yeah,
Cool. So how do you feel about it?
yeah. Looks pretty good so far.
Okay. Very cool.
Yeah.
So this says, oh, um, so there's 2 minutes left in this meeting. I'm gonna end it and then I'm gonna start it over again. If you wouldn't mind just rejoining really quick. Is that okay with you?
Um, yeah, yeah, I can do that.
Okay, cool. Yeah, it's like this meeting is sort of like it's timed, unfortunately. So I just got to start it over again.
Okay, so just click clear out, right?
Yeah, and just click like rejoin immediately.